Hi everyone, welcome to Christmas in July with Helen Lewis. This is our last week. Can't remember if it's 4 or 5, sorry. I have been playing around making these adorable little gift bags, and I'm going to make one with you. I'm going to try, but this is the first one. This is made out of shaded spruce cardstock from Stampin' Up. This is out of the Under the Mistletoe collection. And the red is real red cardstock, whisper white, and then the wreath in this case was done with shaded spruce and real red for the berries, and that is out of this At Home With You collection. There's 2 wreaths. One is a floral, and actually it might be poinsettias. It could be a floral or a regular floral poinsettias. There's a wreath here, and then there's a matching, let me find it. A matching at-home framelits that has the wreath cut out in it. So I use that. This is a great set. It's got pumpkins and florals here, some topiary, some spring flowers. It's like a welcome, a door, presents, and a lantern. Got holly berries that can go around the door. It has Merry Christmas on it, which I'm going to use today, and a little bow and some other sentiments and things. So a really nice set in the current catalog. I'm also going to be using the Stampin' Up gift bag punch board, and that is in conjunction with We Are Memory Keepers. So it's the Stampin' Up gift bag. It's $20 in the catalog. If you're a demonstrator, you get it, a discount off of it. So I rounded these edges. I had a rounder in my stash, a paper rounder, 1-inch paper rounder. This ribbon is from the Tea Time ribbon set. This is the Berry Vanilla with Copper one. I don't have enough of the Stampin' Up ribbons in my stash, and it's the only one that matched, but I think it goes pretty well. And the Merry Christmas came out of the Blended Seasons, which is available starting August 1st, which is next week already, guys. It's right here. And this is another great set because it's good for many seasons. It's got flowers, congrats, I miss you, you're the friend everyone wishes they had, some wheat, which I love. Can't wait to use them for fall. Holly berries, a bell, thank you, wishing you all the best, and the Merry Christmas, and then some leaves. And it has a coordinating Stitch Seasons framelits dies, which I have shown you before, and this is one of the shapes out of it, which has stitching around it, and the reason it's double stitched is the negative also has stitching on it. So anyway, this is the first one that I made. I will tell you, this was a little tricky to use the first time. I messed it up because following the instructions, they're a little confusing. So I watched a couple videos, and I was trying to make it probably too big. It says you can go up to, I think, 12 inches high. Yes, between 4 and 12 inches high. But the thing is, this board isn't 12 inches long, so this is 7 inches in paper, but you have some at the bottom, so it ends up being shorter than that. Let me see what it is. It's actually comes out to be 5 3/4 inches tall, 7-inch paper, but the 7-inch paper works perfectly on here. You could maybe go to 8 or 9, but see, the thing is, you have to score, and it would be off the scoreboard, okay? So that's the only thing, because you need to be able to have your paper go up to here. 8 inches would work comfortably. In fact, maybe we'll just try one today with 8 inches. So, yeah, I think we'll do that. In fact, these were a little, no, this one is 7 inches too. This is out of one of the designer series papers, Under the Mistletoe. It's red on the back, and so this is a little thinner. The cardstock, the Stampin' Up cardstock is 80 pounds, and that's a nice sturdy bag. I actually really like how that feels. These are nice too, but they're thinner. And I had a piece of leftover real red, and then I did another I did another wreath, but this time oh, and these were both stamped using Call Me Clover, because I don't have the old olive or the spruce. But I stamped it in Call Me Clover, but I colored this with my markers in the old olive and the real red for the berries, and I think that came out cute. This twine actually, excuse me, actually is not Stampin' Up! The twine only. It is something I had in my stash, and did I already put it away? I might have. No, here it is. Hang on. It's Doodlebug Design twine. I probably got it at Tuesday morning. So whatever you have in your stash, but there is twine available on the website, and not really Christmas twine yet, but there's white twine and some other colors, and you can get it there, and you get a lot. Also, if you're part of the paper pumpkin, we got white twine in the July. You could use that. In fact, I thought about that, but I still haven't finished making all my paper pumpkin stuff, so I didn't want to do that. So I just pulled out something from my stash. Here's another one using the paper collection, the Under the Mistletoe paper collection. It's this one. And this one I made a little taller. Let me see how tall it is. Folded over. Well, actually it was 7. It was probably like 9 when I started, because I have, well, not really. Probably 8, because it's 6 3/4 here, which means 1 1/4 inches is what you need on the bottom. So yeah, this was probably 8 inch, which works. A little bit bigger than this one, see? So this is considered, I think, large, and these two are considered, ooh, sorry, medium. Sorry about that. And this one, again, I used the Merry Christmas from the Blended Seasons, piece of red cardstock, piece of twine. The Stampin' Up! Gift bag punch has a hole punch built in it to do the holes, and we're going to do that on the next one. So that one and this one, I used that. This one, I didn't do the hole punching, and then I just used a hole punch I have in my stash, in my tools, after I made it, and I only used one hole, and that way when you take the twine off, and I only glued down 1/2 of this flap, the flap lifts up and you can get to your goodies. So it's a little bit different way of doing things with that one. Oops, extra piece of paper. So let's get started. Let's do 8 inches. Oops. First I have to cut. Okay, so for a medium bag, you have to have 11 inches wide. So your length on your paper is going to become your width. Okay, and then you trim the paper length between 4 and 12, and I'm going to make it 8. So let's just trim our paper. Let me pull this out. Let me actually get these out of the way. Okay. Alright, let's trim this to 8. And I'm sorry, I don't have the Stampin' Up! Trimmer scorer yet. It's on my list to try, so I have to use what I have at the moment. Oh, I bet I just did that wrong. I did. Let me get another piece. That's a second time. Somehow I have a mental block with which way I'm supposed to have the paper. Alright, length has to be 11, which will be the width. So I need to turn it this way and make it 8, which is only a 1/2 inch trim. Okay, let's get it right, Deb. Don't worry, I will not waste that paper. It'll be made either into card or decoration. I don't waste other than little tiny scraps. Even a strip like this, I'll probably use inside a card, or you know, as a banner across. Okay, so let's bring this over, and it says on the instructions, it's best if you have it upper left for punching. I do find this to be a little stiff. It actually worked better when I didn't have so much cushion under it, but I'm going to try. And the punch board does come with a creaser folder, bone folder thing. You want to put your paper, the width is the long side, okay? unless you're making a 12-inch depth. But you see how this is 8-inch and it hangs off. So 7.5 is probably about the longest I'll go. It will still work. Okay. Your start line is here, and there's a little notch, so that's a very important line. You have to line up with the start line. You're going to punch. I have to stand up, guys, sorry. Okay, so punch. You're going to take your score tool and score this way, which is horizontal. And now we're doing a, let's see, what did I say, medium is 11. Yeah, so we're doing a medium, so we come over to medium and we score down. And that's all for the first one. Then we slide it up, and you always want to make sure you're lined up with this little notch, which is the start line, because if you're long like this, you can't see where it says that. Now we're going to do the first side. So here it says side 2, and this says side. So side 2 is what we're going to do. We also have to do the horizontal. Now some people, and I actually prefer it also, go all the way down the paper with the horizontal first. Now this one makes your crease in the side of the bag, so you do that and this triangle. And you'll see what I mean when we go to put it together. And we have to punch. Okay, then we slide not to the triangle one, but to the end of the side. And then we're going to go back to being, this will be either the front or the back, so we do the medium again. Whoops, and we don't do that. We don't slide it. Okay, and then we do our horizontal. We don't need to do this, but we do have to punch. Okay, then we slide it. And this is going to be our last side, so we do side. And you're going to have a little piece on the end, which is a tab. And the first one I did, I didn't have a tab, and I had like 4 sides and no other front or back. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And that's why I went and watched videos. And we punch. Then we bring it over. You have to do this final punch, which is right at the tab. Okay, so this is what you have. It says you should have 5 notches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the first one is the fifth one. Now, okay, so let me move this out of the way for the moment. You have to cut this little piece of the tab off, which I also forgot to do one time, and then I had to backtrack and do it. And then you want to angle the tab up like this. Doesn't have to be a lot. In fact, that probably is too much. And like this. Okay. That's not going to show, so you don't have to worry about it. And then, actually next we're going to do our holes. So you turn your punch board around, and I don't know if you can see, this has another little notch here. What you're going to do is line your piece upside down the other way. This will be your top, okay? With every line except the ones that are connected to the triangle. So, and then we're going to punch. And this is our hole punch. So we're going to skip that one that had the triangle. Go to this one, punch. Go to the next one. So it's actually punching on either side of the line. Skip the one that's in the middle. Go to the next one, punch. And then go to the very end. Line that up. And punch. And now, I would save all these little bits here because they would make nice confetti. So, see, I'm starting to save. This is one of my whole water cups I use for painting. But all right, now, so this is what we have. This is your bottom. This is your top. Now we're going to fold and score everything. I mean, not score. Burnish. Burnish, Deb. Burnish everything. So just get your creases good. I probably will not show you the whole process of decorating because that is a very slow process for me, but I'll come back and show you the finished product. And part of that is just because I don't probably have enough room on my phone memory to do it. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is glue this side to that tab flap, and you want that tab flap to be, oops, on the inside. Okay, let me line this up better. And don't worry that these holes don't look like they're lining up with something. They will, and you will see that in a moment. Now, you could use your, people have what's called a snail. I don't have one of the Stampin' Up! Snails yet. I'm going to be using wet glue, if I can get it to come out, that I have in this little bottle with a very fine point on it. And we'll just do this. And then you're going to just, it's easier just to keep it, lay it flat to do it, okay? And you want to try and make sure it's lined up good up there. So I'm kind of going to re-burnish that a little bit. There we go. I think I got it. Okay. So this is what you have. You have the start of your bag. Then you have your flaps. You're going to fold those in, and this is your bottom. Okay. So what I do is I put a little bit over here on the edge, a little bit over here on this edge, and I do put some across the top a little bit, but you don't want it in that hole area, because in the center, because then things will stick to it on the inside. So we do that, and then I just go across here, and actually we can go up here and up here also. Okay. Make sure it's straight, and this is pretty fast drying glue, so, and then I'll turn it upside down and take something long, either one of your, in fact, I'm going to do that. I have a sort of a long Stampin' block. I'm going to use that and just rub, and there we go, put together. There's our little bag. And then let me close my glue so it doesn't dry up. Then we have creases, which you probably can't see here very well. Is that sticking or not? You might not, hang on guys, I didn't get enough glue right here. And I want to make sure that edge sticks. There we go. Now I got too much. See, I probably cut a little bit too much off that tab. I didn't need to go that wide on it when I cut the little edge off the tab, but it'll be fine. Okay, then we have, let's do the other side first while that's drying. There's a crease line here in the middle. You're just going to bend, and you have the triangle down here, and it'll just easily bend, and so will the other side. And then you'll see that these holes line up perfectly. See that? And there's your little bag. So you can either put your ribbon through and then fold it over, but I think it's pretty with the ribbon on it. Now we have to figure out how we're going to decorate it, and that is the part that takes me a little while. But I have some scraps here. I have a piece of this pine cone or green. I have this. I kind of wanted to use this, one of these sides. Probably, I don't know if it'll fit this way. Let me see. Yes, I might, sort of, not really. I might go like that and then like this, actually. I think I like that. But I think I need some green behind it. So, what about if I do this? I think that's looking nice. If I cut that off and then put this on and maybe put a little twine wrapped behind it, kind of thing, you know, just wrapped around in a circle like a wreath almost. I think that's how I'm going to go. All right, so let me measure. This is roughly 3 1/8 inches wide. So let me cut my piece here that wide. This is how I roll. I just play around with stuff I have out, available. Oh, now see, I have a skinnier piece. Do I want that or do I want the wider one? Now that I've already cut it. I guess this is where alive would be good, huh? Because you could tell me, no, Deb, don't do that. Let me try it again with the wide one. I'm thinking I like the skinny one better. Yeah, I think I do. All right, 3 1/8. Oopsies. Okay. All right, guys. So, first thing we have to do is figure out position. And this Merry Christmas came out of that at-home stamp collection. I don't know if I said that or not. It's a small Merry Christmas. I was going to put it on the little welcome mat shape, but I decided against it. It just wasn't, I wasn't feeling that. So what I put it on is a piece of white cardstock, and I punched it with the everyday label punch from Stampin' Up! That I had since last year sometime, before I was a consultant. I keep saying consultant, independent demonstrator, excuse me. Alright, do we want the plaid or do we want the poinsettias? I think we want the plaid. I'm feeling the plaid. I think I can see the stitch line better on the plaid as part of the reason. And again, this came out of the framelits for the that goes with the blended seasons, and I'll get you the name of that again in a minute. It will be available August 1st. I believe it's called In Stitch. What did I do with it? Stitch Seasons framelits, excuse me. Stitch Seasons framelits. And I think I went around this with red. Yeah, I guess that's okay. I'm thinking I want to stamp a little something on this. It's too white. Let's see, what do we want to do? A bow? A little bit of holly maybe. Would that work? Probably too long. Well, we could do some of it. Let's try it. Let's just try it. Let me get out my Call Me Clover stamp pad and this long, this is a Stampin' Up! Block. It is H is the block, and I've had that for a while also. I bought the whole set of stamp blocks before I knew things like Stampin' Apparatus and you know, things like that even existed. Alright, so I'm stamping this in Call Me Clover, and I'm going to stamp off the edge and see how it looks. I think I'm going to do the bottom too. We'll just outline the whole tag label. I don't know if I got that right, but see, I just think that is nicer, don't you? And I'm going to color that in. Let me clean this. I actually have my stamp chamois, which has been working beautifully, and we're just going to twist it a little bit and push down. Pushing down, you get down into the grooves of the stamp, and I really like that. And voila, pretty clean stamp. Okay, now I will tell you, red will stain your stamps. No ifs, ands, or buts, especially the photopolymer ones. And it might even stain your clear stamp blocks if you don't clean them up right away. All right, now what I discovered yesterday is that I liked the real red for the berries. I believe this is real red, yes. And the old olive to fill in the holly. So let me color that and I'll come right back. Okay guys, I finished coloring it. And I used the thin end. These are the Stampin' Rights. This is real red. I used the right end, which is 0.5 millimeter, instead of the brush end. They have pictures on so you can see. I don't know if you can tell. There. Brush, right end, and I used the old olive, the brush end, to color in the holly. I'll put them away in a minute. So this is what it looks like. And now I think that looks so much nicer with just some more decoration on. So I think I'm going to glue that. Actually, I'm going to put that on with Stampin' Dimensionals, which I have here. This is an older pack. The new ones come with a black and white on here, which I've shown you before. I have some of them, but I need to finish what I have first. And I'm going to put 4 on because I like it to be sturdy. 2 in the middle, and 1 on each end. And let's peel them off. Oops. And make sure we don't put it on upside down, which I also have a tendency to do. And I want this to be lined up, these round knobs on the over those points. Pretty much. Oops. Nope, I had it right a minute ago. I will say the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals are a little easier to move most of the time than the glue is. Okay, what do you think, guys? I think it looks pretty good, except I think it needs a little bling. But I'm going to have to put that on later because I don't have any right here with me. We will put some ribbon on, and I think we'll use the am I feeling that? Let me think. I think I'm going to use the twine. Sorry guys, I think it needs that extra pop of color up at the top there. So, and I like the red with green one the best. So I leave it on the roll, the spool, whatever you have. Now you could put a treat tag bag topper on here too, but I find that the ones I have are too wide. So this one, you see I just used a red piece of real red and punched the holes with my hole puncher, and then I put one of the wreaths on. And this one, I cut a piece of paper the same width as the bag, rounded the edges on both sides, and just glued one side down, and the other side pops up to open. Yeah, so you can do it lots of different ways. You could put, oh, and you know what? I was thinking maybe we could put a doily there. Hang on, let me put this through and see something. I'm really going to work on trying to get some live videos going with demonstrations, because my webcam and computer let me go longer for sure. Alright, I'm going to cut this off about, actually probably about at this little ridge, and get them out of the way. Let me just get a doily out here. I don't have any in the Christmas colors, but I have these pearlized white ones. Now the thing is, I can't fold it over the top because would those holes come through? They might. Let me put it even. Fold it over. I'm not really feeling that. Nope, it's not working for me. So if I put anything up there, it'll have to be a different, maybe another wreath or a bell or something. or just some holly. I think I might just, I have the retired holly berry punch somewhere. This one, and it's no longer available, sorry, but it has a bow and some holly berries. I may just punch a few of those out and stick them on, but I'll do that off camera. So for now, we'll just tie this in a little bow and call it done. So I just wanted to show you how to do the gift bags. Now let me just, while I'm tying this bow, the reason I decided to do these is not just because I have the punch board now, but in my neighbor, whoops, I am so bad at tying bows. I really am. I have to learn that. Anyway, in my neighborhood at Christmas, one of the things, I live on a cul-de-sac street. I'm not right on the cul-de-sac, but the neighbors are all so nice, and most of us, there's one or two that don't participate, and we have a group home on the street that doesn't participate, obviously. But we walk around Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve day before people go off to church and things, and yeah, I think that looks cute with the just a little pop of color with the bow and letting it hang down. I think is nice. Anyway, we walk around and do little gift exchanges, and every year it seems like it's getting earlier and earlier, I guess because people have things to do at their churches and whatever. Or family Christmas Eve get-together. So like last year they started coming around noon. I'm like, I'm not ready yet, and I wasn't. So I ended up taking mine around, like, I don't know, the day after Christmas or something this past year. And we started off doing, when my son was younger and things, we used to do more baked goods and things, but everybody's a little bit older now. I mean, there's some young people in the neighborhood now that just moved in recently. And a few others, but most of us are trying not to eat the sweets so much. Yeah, so you know, we're at that point, we gotta watch what we're eating. We splurge occasionally, but yeah. Anyway, so we try to give other little gifts, and I got some really nice, like a decorated bottle that lights up last year, things like, you know, some nice things, actually too nice. You know, $10 maybe. But what I thought I'd do this year is make some 3x3, 1, 2, 3, yeah, they'll just fit, note cards, and put them in these little bags, and maybe with a few little candy treats or something, and hand them out to the neighbors. So sorry about that, guys. So anyway, my camera cut off, of course, my phone. So let me just show you the finished ones. I did add some bling that I had in my stash. These are not Stampin' Up! Bling, so I won't say where they came from, but most of you will know when you see them. This one I just added these two sort of a light green dots. This one, same thing, I added one light green in the middle of the wreath there. This one, I punched this bow out of the paper line under the mistletoe. I did use the retired holly berry punch. It's not available anymore. I put on one red bling, and Stampin' Up! Does have red bling. I will link that below the video as well. I'll put all the product numbers that are available that I used below, so you can get those. And there are other bows. You know, there's a little bow in the at home collection that you could use. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, right here. A little bit smaller bow, but I was just going for fast. And 3 of the sparkle bling dots. And then here I added 2 of the bling. Remember, I said this one needed bling. This is the one we made together. And I did also punch out some holly berry to match the, to match the background paper. And the center holly berry had like 3 berries out of the out of this red paper that was from the collection under the mistletoe, and then just a red bling dot. I just thought it needed a little something up at the top. And that's it, guys. So I'm going to take pictures, put them at the end, and you see how that one is a little taller because we made it the 8 inches instead of the 7. and you lose 1.25 inches at the bottom from your length. And then this one is a 7, and then this one's a little bigger also. So those are my 4 treat bags or gift bags, mini gift bags. I hope you like it. Please be sure to check out everyone else in the collab. And below all their names and links, I will also put the item numbers and the description of the Stampin' Up! Products that I used today, so you can see. I will not put in what the other things are, but I'll just say, you know, twine, but I might give you alternates of what you can get in the catalog. So I'll say red bling and then the item number, what you can get at Stampin' Up! And twine and things like that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I really had fun making these. I plan on making more, maybe not till December or November, something like that. But yeah, I'll take pictures, and please do go visit everyone else in the collab. Great bunch of people, very talented, and everybody does something different. All right, talk to you soon. Hugs, love, and peace.